Over the past 2 decades, I have played countless games. I've also played countless Mario games, and out of all of them, Super Mario Sunshine is one of the most memorable. Super Mario Sunshine is the only Mario game that I've ever even bothered trying to complete more than once. When I think about this game, it brings back so many memories. You know, this game was pretty revolutionary for its day. It had unique and dynamic mechanics that just made it stand out above everything else. When Sunshine came out in 2002, many people refused to accept it because it was just too different. These people most likely held it up against Super Mario 64. A great game for sure, but I've always preferred Sunshine. I prefer pretty much every aspect of Sunshine over 64. From gameplay to world design, I love this game. Speaking of world design, let's talk about the setting of Sunshine. Sunshine takes place on the beautiful Isle Delfino. Isle Delfino is a tropical dolphin-shaped island that Mario and Peach have chosen for their vacation. There are many unique locations on this island for Mario to explore as well. The first and main area of Isle Delfino is Delfino Plaza. Delfino Plaza acts as Sunshine's hub. From here you can travel to every other location in the game. Delfino Plaza is the most iconic location in the game as well. It's perhaps the first thing that comes to mind when this game is mentioned. Instead of traveling into other worlds through paintings like in 64, Super Mario Sunshine features a few different ways to enter other areas on the island. The most common means of transportation is the painted M on landmarks. One such location that uses this is Bianco Hills, a lush green village that offers a very beautiful view from its spawn. It also features a very large windmill. What's beautiful about this game is the ability to see the other locations from one another. One that can be seen from Bianco Hills is Rico Harbor, a map made mostly of water. The harbor is home to boats, submarines, and this guy. It also has some interesting scaffolding that makes for some great platforming. If you travel further away from Delfino Plaza along the coast, you will eventually hit Gelato Beach. This is one of my personal favorite locations. It's a long stretch of sand and coral reefs, and I think that I would actually like to visit this place in real life. You know, so long as they don't have those damn ducks. What resort would be complete without an amusement park? Well, actually, I'm pretty sure most of them don't have amusement parks, but Peanut Park is a very stereotypical park. Merry-go-rounds, roller coasters, and of course those pirate ships that spin around. And just across the bay is the beautiful Serena Beach. Not too unlike Gelato Beach, it's a very calm landscape. It features a breathtaking sunset in its own hotel, which could use Luigi's help if you know what I mean. Now travel to the other side of the island and you will arrive in the most secluded area yet. Noki Bay is another water-based location where most of the land is actually made up of cliffs overlooking the bay. Not too far from there you will find one of the most unique locations yet, Pianta Village. It's suspended over a large ravine and of course features 4 gigantic trees which are even large enough to be seen from other locations. These locations differ from 64's because they feel real. 64's locations look like jumbled messes that just don't belong anywhere. Sunshine's locations feel like they could be real, and in fact they are real in Mario's world. While Sunshine improves upon world design, it also improves upon gameplay drastically. Not too much has changed from 64 except for the addition of Flood of course, and Flood completely changes the Mario formula. In the past, Mario had to rely on jumping on top of his enemies. In Sunshine, Mario is no longer held down by these limitations. He can utilize Flood to destroy his enemies or to carry himself above obstacles. Just because Flood is present doesn't mean you're always going to be using him. Mario's platforming mechanics are still accessible. You can use anything in Mario's repertoire to complete each and every mission. You may think that the hover nozzle would break the game and make it too easy, but you'd be wrong. Sunshine works because the levels are built specifically for Flood. Some areas in the game require one of the 2 additional nozzles, the rocket nozzle and the turbo nozzle. On top of that, some levels require that the rideable Yoshi and his iconic spitting power be used. These are all just components that diversify your choices for speedruns. Speaking of which, speedrunning in this game is very different from 64. There is no BLJ in Sunshine, so speedrunners must rely on different methods for clipping through walls. Speedrunning this game is very fun to me because of how many different methods of getting through levels there are. Shortening levels with a few simple steps is a very rewarding experience. Glitching or not, there are just so many different ways to complete this game. Which reminds me of the time I tried to speedrun this game. Let's just say there was nothing speedy about it. Another reason why I think this game improves upon 64 is that it actually gives you a hint at the start of the level. This way, first time players won't need to wander around aimlessly. I mentioned earlier how Flood is an integral component of Sunshine. But there are of course a few levels in Sunshine where Flood is not even used. Every area has at least one platforming level where you must rely on Mario's classic mechanics. These missions are the game's most challenging and rewarding. They contrast the rest of the game quite well and give it quite a bit of nuance. And would it be a Mario game without a few water levels? Even if they are the most frustrating, you gotta have them. Another memorable aspect of Sunshine's gameplay are the boss fights. You aren't just simply spinning Bowser around and around until he hits a bomb. You're fighting various other bosses now, some of which are completely original to this game. Now, 64 had a great soundtrack, so too does Sunshine. But I believe that Sunshine's soundtrack is just better at setting the mood for each location in the game. Most games feature lackluster scores that only make the game feel generic. Sunshine's soundtrack feels like a unique experience unlike any other. Each song was once again expertly composed by Koji Kondo, so you know they're good. If I had to name a favorite, it would have to be the Serena Beach theme, which I unironically listen to sometimes. Music is often important for setting the mood of certain scenes in a story. In Sunshine, the soundtrack accomplishes just that. Speaking of which, Sunshine has a pretty funny story. Mario, Peach, and some Toads travel by plane to Isle Delfino on vacation. They arrive on a vandalized airstrip where they are then attacked by a monster made out of paint. Luckily for Mario, someone just happened to have left a high-tech water gun a few feet away from the monster. That water gun is of course Flood. Mario uses Flood to destroy the monster and clean up the airstrip. Noticing this, the police approach Mario and arrest him, even though he just saved the airstrip. After Mario is transported onto mainland Delfino, he faces the court where he is given no chance to defend himself at all. Turns out someone has been framing Mario for vandalizing the island. The real culprit is just some blue version of Mario who carries around a large paintbrush. So it's kinda weird how people actually think Mario is a criminal, considering that he wasn't even on the island when any of the crimes happened. In fact, a lot of people have even seen Mario and the imposter in the same place at the same time. So how do these people believe that Mario is responsible for these crimes? They actually send him to clean up the entire island. Well, whatever it is, the Piantas must have galaxy brains. It's later revealed that Blue Mario was just Bowser's son in disguise. He believes that Peach is his mother, somehow, so he kidnaps her and brings her to Bowser's giant hot tub in the sky. After Mario finally makes it up to Bowser's hot tub, he destroys it, sending Bowser and his son to their deaths. Actually, somehow they survive falling out of the sky, I don't know how. Then Peach and Mario continue their vacation as if nothing happened. Now I did say that the stories of Mario games are never really intricate, nothing highbrow. At least the story's amusing though, and includes better voice acting and cutscenes than many other games. Maybe I've been blinded by nostalgia, maybe this game's relationship with my younger days is what's made me feel like this. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I believe that everything I've said here stands on its own, even without my ties to the game. After all, Super Mario Sunshine is the game that brought Mario into the 21st century. While it wasn't Mario's first 3D appearance, it certainly improved upon that greatly. Sunshine was a completely different Mario experience that not everyone accepted, mainly because they just thought it wasn't what Mario was about. Many people have actually come around and started to love this game in the last decade. For Mario, it was a step forward in every way imaginable. From graphics to world design, it laid the groundwork for Mario's future games. I really wish that Nintendo would either remaster this game or give it a sequel. The sequel could take place on any one of the islands surrounding Isle Delfino. That would make it similar but different at the same time. Perhaps a remake with a more open world feel where if you wanted to, you could travel around the island from location to location. I think that would be pretty cool. I would actually buy a Switch just for that game. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. It took way longer than it should have. Sorry about that, should have been out maybe a week ago. Anyway, I'll be making a few more videos similar to this, so stick around. And thanks for watching. See you later.